Hey y'all, it's the Calm Corner Show. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's get into it. All right, y'all. So I had to just come on in here. It took me, it's crazy as hell. It has taken me 3 days to try to upload this reading. And then even when I did the cards, the energy is just crazy around it because it was like I had already flipped them and didn't even realize I was recording. So I'm definitely going to split it into two. I really got some really good clips, like I said, but even so, since it's taking time, I also pull a few from TikTok that I'll put on part 2. And I also forgot to put this lady who was a real victim from him. And I'm going to pull the clip. I don't even know why they're not saying anything about it. It's really interesting. So, I try to do as much as I can and try to get as many updates as I can for y'all. So here's the first part. I start with, how I intro and all that. But make sure that you check out for the second half. Sorry about that. And look out for the other readings because I'm about to get on it. I think I'm going to go ahead and do Chrisean, y'all, because she got the fight coming up this week. And, I'm seeing a little bit of transformation in her. And I'm praying for her that she has some victory. So we're going to pull those cards and see what it's looking like, all right? So let's get into it. Hey, Soul Family. Back again. I'm Erica, your favorite Astro homegirl. And welcome back for all of you guys that have been riding with me. And welcome back for all of you guys that are new here. So let's get into it. This is a little out of my little energy, and I spoke on it a few days ago when I did random messages. So family, make sure you guys tap in. Sometimes just little messages matter because it's meant for somebody, right? But this one is on ASHLEE Jenae Robinson, and rest well. Sending her good energy as she, transitions, right? And I don't do the readings on when they immediately pass, because in my faith, guys, it's 24 months. Like she said, it takes us 24 months to come from heaven to earth, and it takes us 12 months to cross over if we decide, okay? So a lot of times, we don't favor cremation because we don't want to burn the soul. The soul is eternal, right? But I mean, hey, everybody think, but that's just how it goes. So I'm going to pull on Joe energy because we're going to get down to business, okay? I ain't never did this, and the energy has been so strong. And I've been watching it and really tuning into the details. And I want to give a shout out to B Hack Life. Shout out to B, man. Because when I tell you, Queen Sheba, she did a phenomenal job. And I noticed that a lot of people, because and shout out to all y'all readers, man. Y'all been doing y'all big ones. Really, really getting down to business with this, because the energy on this girl, like I said the other day, is really, really strong, guys. Beautiful, beautiful girl, okay? And it's just so many things. I don't have a lot because normally I get into the astrology, but this one is different. We're going to get in. I know y'all see so many decks. I was so like, you know what? We got time. We might as well flip them. So, hey, y'all go get you a cocktail, lock in. Let's see what's going on, right? Because I did get a lot of new decks. But what I was wanting to say was, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to keep it brief because I got y'all personal readings coming up, our zodiac signs. But with her being an Aries sun was riveting to me. And this being her literal solar return, guys. So that's a lot of reasons why I like to get into the astrology first. It was interesting because my astrology teacher, y'all got to check her out on she is definitely on here, phenomenal lunatic astrology, okay? Y'all got to check out Miss Lori. But Lori spoke on with the Saturn conjunction, and it's always a lot going on, so I always just make sure y'all tap in the shorts because it's always right on time, because I'm gonna start making sure that I try to keep y'all updated on that, the astro energy too, because this matters when it comes to what's happening right now in real time, guys. You get what I'm saying? You know, to me, that's why I even got into this, because really it's fascinating to see the planets align with the energy that's happening to us, around us, in our relationships and everything in real time. Saying that to say, you know, that Libra moon that came in at the top of the month was about relationships. And I think it's safe to say, and I just want to say this to y'all, relationships have been literally out of control. Out of control. So many prayers go out. Prayers to the Denisha Delancey young lady who was unalived, met a guy on a whim. They said that he was I guess like a drug lord or something like that. And when he took her to St. Martin, guys, the people retaliated. It was a hit and assassination and shot both her and him in the head. She was just an innocent bystander and literally just met him days before. The energy of ASHLEE is so strong. And I was saying shout out to Behalf Life, because I was like, I know I'm not crazy. And I said that to y'all if y'all go back and listen to the random messages. And I didn't want to say a whole lot. I just kind of wanted to sit, because the energy was like, oh, it was deep. And I kept hearing her say, ah. And I didn't want to say that. I was like, I don't know, it was weird. It was like I heard her saying her energy was giving, I ain't want to marry this motherfucker for real. Like, okay. Or it was something in the energy, right? I haven't flipped any cards. I'm just saying respectfully, you know, and again, shout out to Queen Sheba, because Lala and a lot of people, that's her, comes on the show all the time. And I think she has her own channel. I wish I knew it, because I would post it for y'all. So make sure y'all give Queen Sheba a follow, okay? Queen Sheba, darling, her channel, she is phenomenal. So Lala's from Africa, and she was the one to translate, you know, directly from Tanzania, okay, where they were in Africa when this happened. Now, again, y'all, I'm talking because it's so much and the energy is so intense. But this is the ASHLEE Jenae and the Joe McCann, or Joe McCann. I don't know if I'm saying his name properly. I know y'all be stabbing me for butchering names, but promise me it's not it is not personal at all. No harm intended. But I think it's Joe McCann, so I'm gonna go with that for now, okay? But anyway, Joe is from what I was doing a lot of research too, because it was the energy was so strong. He's a hedge fund something. I really couldn't understand all what he do, because to me, I'm gonna just keep it a buck with y'all, he's giving a whole bunch of finesse. You know how somebody will say a whole bunch of nothing, but they saying a whole lot of something, but they saying a whole lot of nothing. That's the energy, right? So I was like, he full of shit, right? But that's just me. Listen, in my opinion, and allegedly, but this is my thoughts, right? When I saw the pictures, me and my best friend, at first, we didn't even think it was real. The pictures are so perfected, it looked like AI, right? So I was like, this looked like a stage, or, you know, the energy to me, and we ain't even got into the reading, wasn't giving, even the proposal to me, all that was like it's like we got some type of agreement. And I'm going to always keep it a buck with y'all, but that's just what I was getting. And then I got an energy, right? Like, I promise you, it was when it was late that night when we were listening to Queen Sheba, because I was tuned in, because she did a phenomenal job, Lala did, translating. Because to me, it gave way more than what was on MSNBC. You get what I'm saying? But she was saying that it was too many red flags, y'all, in the story. And I guess we could go ahead and talk about it now, because I want to get into the cards. But I'm definitely going to pull as many clips, because I'm going to keep y'all updated, especially. And I'm going to definitely pull for Queen Sheba, right? But the timeline, y'all, the timeline was just, that was sketchy for me, right? And I have a lot. We got to get into the cards. The reason why I say that is because it was already a problem if they went to 2 different resorts. Meaning, the way that it was stated, the first resort, guys, is the resort where it was families, and that's where we saw the pictures, the beautiful pictures of the animals. And I want to say something, and make sure that y'all chiming in the comments. But did you guys see the animals? Was anybody paying attention to the animals? It was just a lot. Like I said, it's been very heavy energy. She's an Aries sun again, solar return. This is her birthday time, and this is pretty much her Saturn return energy. And Saturn return is all about karma. So this was deeply karmic, something that possibly could have went on in another lifetime that played out again, and this one like that. Also deeply karmic from an aspect of even the season that we're in, because Aries is the alpha, the omega. It's the first point. It's the beginning. Remember, when you're coming through there from heaven to earth, it's that energy. So it's the first, zodiac sign on the astral wheel. Okay, so it's how you show up in the world. That's who you are in that energy. This girl was in her solar return birthday season. Also, your destiny begins. That's how we translate it in Ifa, between the 28 and 30 spot. That's when your destiny starts, because that's a Saturn return energy, when the challenges and the lessons that you didn't get the first time around, you needing to understand the lesson. That's why it is critical. Because one thing about Saturn, even though it's a tough energy, it brings rewards when you put in the work, right? So when we're not doing the work, we suffer the consequences, so to speak, unfortunately. Okay? But it was too many things with him in that timeline. But the energy that riveted me when they started to speak on people speaking on, her past, and it's nothing to condemn her, because we all here and you do what you got to do, and that's just what it is, baby. But what I'm saying is, in her regard, how they, were certain callers that maybe knew of her, follow her. Some people I think may have, I can't remember, but because it was so late. But the lady was stating that, and she looked spicy even from her videos and how she responded to people. And even with comments, what people were saying with her comments about, race. I guess they were trying to say racist in a sense, meaning not liking black men, or, giving an issue and picking white men, right? So they said that about her. But when they said that she used to be a stripper, I said, okay, so now we getting down to the meat of things. So that's definitely a possibility of where she could have met this man, anyway, because I was like, who she meet him at? But because the way they described it, she was doing videos, right? So you can meet a lot of people once you get into that energy, especially when you start to connect with the artist and so to speak like that. That's just how it go. Y'all know how it go. But it was giving some type of dark, I want to say snuff. I don't know why, y'all, but it was to the point where I was going to come do the reading. But then once I was listening to them, I was like, it started getting creepy. It was just like a personal energy, to the point where I had to make sure my door was locked and close my blinds. So I was like, I need a moment. Let me be smoking stuff and get my stuff together, and we're going to get into the car. So not to drag y'all any further, because I want to get down to business, and definitely going to pull clips and as many close to as update on this as that I know of right now, because I haven't really had a chance today. I've been busy. But something about, I don't know what his update is, but I think I read somewhere, and maybe by the time I pull the clips to construct the reading together to post it for you guys, I would have seen it. But I think they said, I know that they're retaining him and holding him for his passport, right? But this is what I was wanting to say to y'all. The place where he took her is questionable. So I kind of got the feeling that it's a possibility that he already made a decision that this was what he was going to do before they even got there. And then it was interesting when the lady was describing the owner of the resort. But I want to go back to that resort because we spoke on it before we, get into the reading. The resort they was at was family oriented, which would be the resort that y'all should have been at the whole time. Y'all just got engaged. Y'all supposed to be enjoying each other, right? You the love of my life. We in this beautiful jungle, right? But y'all left and went to the bull. Okay? Y'all went to me and my children was like, what can we say for you two? The hanky-panky spot. That's where they went. And it's a known hanky-panky spot. Okay? So, and the people there know him. Y'all know when you live in countries like that they can't even afford the resources. But for the lady that called into Queen Sheba was a very good example. She lives there. She moved there from the United States. She's been living there, I think she said 3, 4, 5 years, maybe even longer, right? But she said the space where Ashley was a known spot for that. And I don't know the word that they're using, diverse relationship or something like that. But I don't know, but it was a picture that they spoke on also on the show where they said you could see a whole bunch of, Caucasian men in the tub and then black women, right? And it was the resort where the hanky-panky goes on. So I was like, oh, this done took a turn. Because I understand stuff on a whole nother level too. Because I understand that life, right? A lot of people don't. They coming from a cerebral standpoint. They don't know the streets or the hustle, or it's no respect in that. It's like, oh, she's a stripper or whatever. No, you get your money how you get your money. The thing is, when you doing stuff, you got to have EY Pele, period. EY Pele. And that means good character in Yoruba. Chief always say, if you ain't got that, you can flush all the sacrifices down the river. It means nothing. Your character take you far. Just hold on to that when we get into these. That man gave me, he played games. Like how, like a Bernie Madoff type of vibe, right? Like one of them. Because when they get into that crypto stuff, it at some level, it's a scam to some extent, right? Maybe not directly to you, but I don't know if y'all remember the young lady who was on Basketball Wives. It was giving that vibe. It just looks like Joe is more successful than that guy. It's like because the thing is with stocks, y'all all know anything. I play lottery, I play numbers. I know it's a bad habit. I can tell you the backside of the number. It's like that for me. So I understand it's a hustle. It's a gamble too. Let me say that. So when you in high stakes like that, and you done went from, you might have started with your 5, 10, 15, 20 bands, and then you were able to amass the tens, the hundreds of millions, it's still a recipe to it, and to some extent a scam to it, if that makes sense, y'all. I don't know, but whatever. It's, y'all understand me, and then y'all know how life goes. It's a different life in the building of an actual club, the strip club. So, our women who respectfully do they thing and go to work every day, go home, do what they supposed to do. It's no difference between the two. It's just that these women right here go through a different type of energy when they in this type of space. And y'all got to remember that space already it's the witching hours. Anything after a certain, 9 o'clock, you going, meaning midnight, you going into the witching hours, period. Remember, Cinderella turned into a pumpkin at midnight. And always remember, when you think about it, all the worst things happen at midnight. Or between the hours of the 2, 3 a.m. spot. So-and-so was what last night? When we wake up in the morning and hear the news, you're in the witching hour. So make sure that y'all always, even when you're traveling on a road, don't leave home and get on that road till about 6 a.m. Because you want to let the witching hours go by. okay? Because the EIME, they not going to play with you. They don't go back and forth. They ain't bargaining your ass up out of here. And honestly, that's no other way to describe that. And that's just the way the witches, the EIME work. So, and I know y'all see it because look, ASHLEE JENAE, unfortunately, even in the witching hours, right? Let's get into this reading, guys. All right, so family, I actually got you guys a really good update. So I added the clips in. Shout out to @Queen Sheba Darling, and also Somali Queen. Okay, they did a phenomenal job, and I mean, like I said, when y'all get a chance, go give her a follow and check out the latest videos up there, full videos, you know. So, all I can say, guys, is to get you something to drink and, you know, get ready, because I definitely want to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments. I think I did a good job. Now, one of the clips, it is a breaking update, because I was lucky enough to, I did the reading like early yesterday morning, early, guys. But, of course, you know, I ended up getting busy. Killer Mike's birthday was yesterday. So happy solar return, Killer Kill from Adamsville, as well as, you know, he had his party at Bankhead Seafood, y'all. But, also, so I got to do add the clips, but I wasn't able to edit them yet. And I wanted to make sure that y'all heard her friend, another friend, not the friend that y'all see going viral, but another one of Ashley's friends, guys, elementary school, you know, from the Sandbox. And I definitely want y'all to hear what she had to say. I think that clip is a little bit long, so I said when y'all get a chance, but I owe this to y'all. I like to do a little research first so y'all can actually have the visuals and see, you know, updates and what's going on. And then, you know, I love, especially if y'all hadn't really had a chance to get any updates. So that's for y'all that are new to the channel. You know, when you coming in, I want y'all to be like, well, what is this? I always want to, like, give y'all, a lot of y'all don't get a chance. You busy, you know, running your households, doing the things that you have to do every day, you know? So I want to make sure that I'm able to give y'all some form of footage or, you know, real news updates, and then, you know, get into the reading. So let's get into it. I definitely think that, in my opinion, not, you know, from the reading, it's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. It's a lot of things that just aren't said. A lot of this is just not true, you know? And I think that's what I was seeing a lot of in the cards. And when I say not true, a lot of the energy around when and how she passed. You know, I'm sorry. I just feel like, even based on the, I like for y'all to see the reading first. So let's get into it, all right, y'all? Because this, like I said, these people aren't being truthful about the timeline and all that kind of stuff in the story. I just think it's made up to an extent. I feel like it's unfortunate that ASHLEE probably was already gone. Okay, so I love y'all. Let's get into it.
ASHLEE Robinson. She's the 31-year-old influencer who was on vacation with her fiance celebrating her birthday. He actually proposed on the trip, but something crazy happened. She was having a good time. Her family said she was very excited to be there, shared pictures with the family, FaceTimed them when she was proposed to. But they released a statement saying that ASHLEE was found unconscious in her villa and was rushed to a local hospital where her death was confirmed hours later. I spoke to Robinson's parents. Here's some of what they had to say.
It doesn't make any sense. She was traveling with her, you know, with her boyfriend, and he was taking what was supposed to be a celebratory trip to celebrate her birthday that was coming, and they were in a gorgeous place in Africa and happy. Everything that we knew was that she was supposed to be happy, and she was engaged. She celebrated her birthday thereafter. And then
I just spoke to the family of ASHLEE Robinson.
And I don't think Joe did it either. I don't have a suspect, but I will show you some stuff. So this is the actual villa that they would have been in. And what you're looking at right here is the entry, okay? The entry goes right into the vanity area, the bathroom vanity area. Let me see if I can move myself out the way. Yeah, see the vanity? Okay, this is the front door right here. And then you see the beads that are falling back, like they're already, you know, pulled back. I'm not talking about those beads. I'm talking about the beads behind the door. Imagine if the front door came open 90 degrees, right? It would block this nook. What you're looking at is not a closet. Everybody's calling what she was in a closet, but it's actually a wardrobe nook. It's like, you know, those things
regarding the timeline in the tragic passing of ASHLEE JENAE. As a quick recap, ASHLEE and her boyfriend, who became her fiance on this trip, were in Tanzania celebrating her birthday and just being proposed to. Up until April 6th, they were staying at this hotel. Then on that same day, April 6th, they moved hotels to where the red dot is. That is where the argument between the two transpired, as well as where ASHLEE was found deceased. Initially, they were both staying in room 25. However, when room 24 complained of an argument and loud noises, the hotel staff separated them. ASHLEE's fiance was moved to room 65, which is here. The two bungalows were about an 8 to 10 minute walk apart from each other. This will now become important information regarding the new update to the timeline. After they were moved rooms on that same day, ASHLEE was found deceased at 2:50 p.m. The way that she was located is after they were separated, hotel staff made their rounds doing security checks. While doing so, ASHLEE asked the hotel staff member to provide her with a phone charger, which the staff member was able to do. When they brought back the phone charger, ASHLEE requested that they return back to her room in 10 to 15 minutes, though there has been no specification as to why she asked this. However, the staff member did not return within that 10 to 15 minute time frame, and we now know it was about 2 to 3 hours before they returned. And when they did return, they said that all of the lights were off and they entered the room that was locked using one of their provided keys. Once they were able to make entry, they then found ASHLEE in the closet with a belt around her neck. They also stated there was an unidentified mark in addition to that. Initially, reports stated that she fell from the door frame. However, they were misdescribing that, and that is the closet door that they were referring to. With this new time frame, it makes much more sense as to why they are preventing her fiance from leaving the country and withholding his passport. Secondary to that, there is a rumor going around that ASHLEE's engagement ring was found in her rental vehicle with BLOOD near it. This is not true or accurate information, and this is also a fake news branch. Furthermore, the U.S. Embassy has now sent a coroner to the area to assist with the autopsy. At this time, the investigation remains active, ongoing, and they have not reached a final conclusion. To stay up to date on this case, make sure you click the playlist below. I'll keep you guys updated. What do you think? Drop in the comments. Breaking news.
Listen, we are talking all things ASHLEE JENAE. And baby, when I tell you I have a powerful update, I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there. I believe ASHLEE did die here in her room. That's it. That's all. I believe ASHLEE passed away in her room. I'm going to walk you through the why of that. But the bigger question is, why are they lying to us? Write that down. Why are they lying to us? Okay, hold on. We got somebody here. T. Morgan. T. Morgan says, man, that white man killed my friend. Welcome, T. Morgan. Before I get started, can I ask you, are you close with ASHLEE? I'm going to assume, oh my God, T. Okay, T said they're lying because he paid them off. T, I'm with you. I'm going to walk it down. T, I am with you. Welcome, T. I'm going to assume that you are a good friend of ASHLEE's because you're using personalized language. Why are they lying to us, y'all? Yes, T. Morgan is ASHLEE's friend. It's on record and has known her since elementary school. We got your back on this, T. We got your back. Now, let me listen. We covered the Shanquilla Robinson case very, very closely over here. Very closely. And I'm going to do my best to give ASHLEE her due diligence. I'm not letting it go because it never made sense to me, y'all. It doesn't make sense. And it hit me last night at damn near midnight. I knew they were lying. Listen, some of you are, listen, don't let anybody play in your face regarding your intelligence. What the old folks used to say, if it doesn't make sense, it's because somebody's lying. It didn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. It never has. Okay. Now, what I was able to uncover is jarring, is very jarring. Okay. First of all, here's a couple of things that we're gonna talk down. First of all, here's a couple of things that we're gonna talk down, run down. We're gonna talk about her dad going to DC. We're also gonna go back to that hospital report. We're gonna go back to that hospital report, and we're gonna go back to that butler. Shanley, say thank you, Queen, for covering this, for continuing to cover this young lady. Absolutely. It's my due diligence. I think when you have a platform like this, and yeah, we like to get into the gossip and the entertainment of it all, but if you're ever given an opportunity to make a difference in somebody's life, now's the time to do so. And that's why we're covering it. T. Morgan, who's Ashley's childhood friend, says, thank you. If y'all don't believe me, if y'all don't believe me, my Instagram is the same as my tag here. It's fucked up. I feel her parents are scared as well. Yeah. Let me highlight this comment. I'm going to come back to it. I think so. We're going to talk about the parents not going to Zanzibar. We're going to talk about the journalist. According to a source, the journalists have been instructed not to cover this story. According to one of my sources over there, the Somali Queen did a really good job of telling us that they lied and that it's a huge cover up. But now, y'all, the journalists over there are scared. They've been instructed not to cover the story, and they're going to comply. There is huge sanctions that they've been threatened with if they cover this story. So if you go back and backtrack, they have not covered this story since day 3 over there in Zanzibar or Tanzania. And as a matter of fact, they're saying Tanzania is saying it didn't happen to us. It happened to you. We not in it. T is saying Joe McCann sacrificed my friend. He sacrificed my friend. Listen, I knew that beautiful girl did not go there to kill herself. Joe is a frequent visitor to Zanzibar, is being alleged. Joe has connections over there at that resort. Here's a couple of things we're going to run down. And then I'm going to allow T to come up if she would like to come up and just kind of give us a little bit of her history with Ashley and describe the young lady that she knows Ashley to be. I'm a power through mine really quick. I want to talk about the dad going to the DC. This is what I was thinking. She was unalived before they moved him. So T, I'm gonna bring you on. I'm going to introduce you. Nobody can see you, so you're good.
Okay.
And y'all, this
Thanks.
is okay. Welcome, T.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? How are you considering everything?
Ugh. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. We lost like a lot of people from our high school and from our area. So it's like it's insane kind of seeing everything on the internet and seeing like so many different speculations and just like it's insane. It's insane.
Okay, let's start here. Let's start with the good and give us a
Right.
little bit of background about you and Ashley's relationship, how you've come to know Ashley, and bring us full speed from past to present. The last time you talked to her, were you involved with any communication when she took her trip? Did she know she was being engaged? All of that good stuff. We're just going to give you the floor.
Yeah. So I'll start with this first of all. Me and Ashley, we haven't talked for a while. Like we would Instagram message each other, like and keep up with each other. But we haven't like I'm not gonna act like recently we have been talking a lot. But I have been watching certain things, and I've known Ashley since elementary school, and high school, from elementary to high school, and a little bit when I was my first year in college, we were hanging out a lot too. And this is us. We were like really close. That was my
And I
baby.
can see those. I can see those pictures. I can see those pictures. She's showing them in the background, but I want to make sure I protect T's identity. So I'm not going to turn the camera on her. I can see everything you're showing, but they
Okay.
can't. But that's fine. I can see it.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, Ashley, I want to start off by saying I know a lot of people are like talking about certain tweets and stuff. Like, first of all, Ashley dated black men. Like Ashley loved black people. She was black herself. Um, it's like that's insane. Like seeing a whole bunch of people like pull little stuff. Like okay, people say dumb shit when they're younger, you know. Um, and a lot of stuff, recent stuff she was saying and clapping back to people is because they were coming at her most of the stuff. So a lot of people trying to like spin a narrative and things like that. Um, Ashley was always a type of person who was smart and on point, even in high school through college. Like she wasn't someone where they would just be naive or go off on something. And a lot of people could say, oh, well, people change, you know, things change, but someone's character doesn't really change or who they are, like even at, you know, from their early adult life. Like I don't get the point where they're trying to say she forgot her charger and all that. Like Ashley, even us growing up, us going to parties, us going different places, us staying over people's houses. Like she never, like when I tell you this girl's phone never died, like that doesn't make sense to me. I feel like someone took her charger, um, and that's that. And they either took her charger or yeah, that's the only thing that I could think of. Like I honestly feel like everything was planned. Like, you know, I mean, I've been talking to a few friends. We've been all kind of talking and like and everyone that's like really close to her family. Um, oh, I don't even know how to really say this, to be honest.
Let me ask you this. I
It's a
can help
lot.
you out. Let me ask you
Yeah,
this. Why do you
yeah,
I earlier in the chat you said that man, I believe that man paid them off. Why? Let
yeah,
me just ask you this from your perspective and your personal belief. Why do
yeah.
you feel like Joe would be capable of something like this?
Because Joe was a millionaire and Joe knew how to hack into other resorts to get things on TVs and um certain things done to the fact that I know for a fact that he paid them people off. And on top of it, he was going this wasn't his first time going to Africa. He went to Africa multiple times. One of his close friends was an investor that actually invested in the ambulance for them to even have like medical transportation out there, which is fucking crazy.
Hold on. So you're saying that he's involved with transport medical transportation where he and friends have invested to be able to transport people that are
Yeah.
in need of medical care.
Yes, in that area. Yup, his friend. His personal friend.
Do you know who this friend is?
I do not know his name, but I know that is a fact.
Okay. Do you know? And if you don't, that's fine if you don't. Do you believe or know that if this was Ashley's first time traveling with
Um,
him to Zanzibar or Tanzania?
from what I believe it is.
Okay. Do the parents are because some people's like, well, we kind of believe that if you haven't talked to her in a while. I saw the stuff. She showed me. But listen, are the
Yes.
parents familiar with you?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Are the parents familiar with you?
Yes. Yes. Like I said, we grew up in elementary school and high school together. They know who I am.
What's
But
something that Go ahead.
her parents, they're going through a lot right now. And honestly, like a lot of people keep commenting on like how strange her mom was acting or her dad, or people feel like, oh, why aren't they all hyping loud? Like y'all gotta understand this ain't just someone that's like getting killed, like some neighborhood type stuff or just around the way or just a regular dude that killed her over just anger or something like that. Like, nah, this is someone that knows high people in high places. So I feel like they have to also watch what they're saying too. Like you don't know what could happen to them.
Okay. And you said that you and friends were talking regarding what you all believe happened. Let me ask you this, and this is a very straightforward question. Is there a possibility that initially when Ashley met Joe, it could have been a casual relationship? Young, beautiful black girl getting taken out, wine to dine, just kind of courting, not seriously. Some people would describe it as, hey, that's he kind of a sugar daddy. Could and look, we're not doing this to put any emphasis or any negativity on Ashley, but was this a whirlwind romance?
Um, I I mean, we don't know what it started off as initially. You know what I mean? Like she did, she did work in the the bottle industry and stuff. And I know that he was like around going to different clubs and stuff in Miami. They could
Okay.
have met, who knows how they met, but I know that Ashley did love this man now. It wasn't like just, oh, she was just looking at him for a financial gain, because Ashley had, even like us growing up in early college, like she had even high school, she could get whoever she wanted with money. Like she could have had anyone she wanted with money. Like, and she have had anyone she wanted with money, Like, so it wasn't just about money. I believe that Ashley like truly like loved him.
Okay. And my last question for you is based on what you can remember. What type of freedom, some depending on, you know, um the level of parenting, and this is not a jab to her parents. We know it sounds like Ashley was a free spirit. Would you say that she had like a lot of freedom to just kind of come and go as she pleased? Was strict parenting household? Give us a little bit about that.
Um, so like, I mean, her parents weren't like super overbearing, but they also didn't let her just do whatever she wanted either. Us growing up, like we went to parties, we did everything that normal high school, you know, kids did. We went to parties, we went out. Did we stay out for a whole weekend? No, we would go out to parties. She would go home or she would stay at my house. Like her parents weren't. They also made sure they talked to her all the time too. Her mom definitely did.
Were her parents still married when you knew Ashley?
No, her mom was remarried. And her
Okay,
dad,
so
I believe he got remarried. I think he got I'm not really too sure on her dad. I know she would go see him, but I didn't personally see him all the time. I knew her mom very well though.
when you say her parents, are you referring to her mom and her stepfather?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Because
Anything
that's
else
who
that
she
you
lived
feel?
with. That's who she lived with, and in the state that we were in.
What state were you in?
We were in Jersey.
Okay. Okay. What else would you like for us to know before? I don't want to keep you too long, T.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. What I would like to say is that I feel like a lot of people need to just stop coming up with a whole bunch of facts that they really don't know. You know what I mean? Like I really appreciate how you broke everything down and like the research you did and how you didn't just try to push a narrative like that a lot of people are pushing. Like it's kind of messed up just hearing certain things. It's like crazy. Um and another thing I would like to say is that Ashley was a beautiful soul. When I tell you, like she would help give someone the shirt off her back. She was very caring, giving. She had a light about her. She loved everyone. Anywhere she went, she always was a light. Like we all kind of knew she was going to be some type of famous, you know, just by how she was. Any type of connection she made. And I would also like to let people know as well, Ashley was also a fighter at spirit. So like she wasn't the type, like if a man was disrespecting her, she wasn't the type just to sit quiet or not really do like, look into a situation. Um, she was very smart and she wouldn't back down from anything. So that's what kind of makes me mad about this situation. Because they did find strangulation marks on her neck, but now they're hiding it. And I'm trying to make it difficult. I'm going to show you a little message real quick. I want to take my friend's name off of the thing as well. Okay, here we go. So this is coming from a close friend that is a detective as well in our area. She said the South African embassy is being so shady, acting like they don't want to answer questions, need a high power attorney for the family to get some shit done. And then she deactivated her Instagram a day after she posted that. So, it's a lot going
Okay.
on. And I also want to let people know, like, not to judge her parents, not to judge anyone that's around her, because y'all don't know the severity of the situation. Like you said, Queen Sheba, that is bigger than just Ashley. Is way bigger. Some of y'all got to just sit back and look at something from a bigger view, a spiritual view. Don't just look at things as, oh, it's a young girl that's dating a man that's so naive, a white man that got money. No, it's deeper than that.
All right. And T, how old are you, T?
I'm 29.
Okay. Okay. So Ashley was older than you.
Yep, she was 2 years older than me.
Or
Sure, sure, sure.
the fact that Joe, for the people who just came in or the people who came late, Joe is a frequent visitor of Zanzibar. People know him, the staff know him. So
My source said that they were arguing about him cheating. He would leave the villa to go to other women at night. Police have arrested 10 people suspected of involvement, staff of the hotel, and including his friend who was with him. Postmortem will come out on Friday. Police have refused to release videos and pictures of the couple in Zurich. She was wearing her engagement ring when she was found. That was it.
Oh, and that's for Ace Star.
Hello? I'm sorry, I
Yes.
was trying to look. It was a day ago.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
okay.
it was a day ago. I didn't really catch because it's so many posts, but it was a day ago, and it's under the the three last posts of her photos or videos. I mean, so, but the girl's breaking down the finances, and she said that he lost 75 million during the trip, and she said the money loss hit his peak on her birthday.
Her birthday was April 5th. Oh, I can see that. And then
Yeah, so she was saying that because she was saying what you said the other day, where like maybe an argument broke out where he was stressing about his stocks, and she's like, "Hold on, we on a trip," and she said that the girl was saying that his money losses happened during the birthday, and she believed that that's how the argument broke out.
it gave him a hairline trigger.
Yeah,
Couldn't
basically.
really enjoy it. Got to get my rocks off if what's
But
being said.
if you ladies and gents look under those 4 videos, you'll probably find it. But it's there's so many people commenting, but it's got reviews on it. You'll probably find it.
Okay, I will. I'll go take a look a little bit later. Thank you, Ace.
You're welcome.
All right. A hell of a conversation today. I can go on and on and on, especially with some of the thought leadership that we have flowing through the platform. Oh, wait a minute. I think I may got some. I'm getting beeped real quick. You know what? Let's do final thoughts. Somali Queen, first of all, thank you, because I know it's a huge time difference between Africa and the US. Thank you for being here again. We cannot thank you enough, Somali Queen.
You're welcome, Queen. You're welcome.
Yep. Queen Tosa or Somali, what are your final thoughts, Somali?
We will be lucky. The family will be lucky, and people who are genuinely curious and really want to know the truth will be lucky if we ever find out the truth. I highly doubt. I do not have faith in our systems. Our systems have failed women time and time and time again. So, and also the notion that he's a white man, she's a black woman, there's that cloud hanging over the fact that probably said she's an escort. We don't know what lies he's told. He's a person who's been frequenting Zanzibar, who's always traveled there. People know him. So there's so many question marks, and I pray that we find, true answers. Somebody's gonna come clean and tell us what really happened to ASHLEE JENAE. And I'm gonna keep updating my sources. If they reach back out and tell me new information, I'll keep updating you guys.
Oh my God, y'all. I'm just thinking I am sitting here recording and I ain't recording too much of nothing. I have already blessed the cards, and I was saying that and first, y'all, these are the cards for Miss ASHLEE JENAE. As her name is ASHLEE JENAE Robinson. And I wanted to say a few things because I haven't pulled the clip yet. I'm gonna add those in there. So I just went right into the cards. I've been trying to do this since last night when I started the beginning of the video, but I had a lot of cakes and stuff this weekend, guys. So let's get into it. So as I was it's interesting. I was like, let's start with the astrology first, okay? Cards, because they're very powerful, and you know, I feel like it would give us some energy and clues around this whole situation and how it has unfolded, so to speak, for her. I'm pulling from an aspect of the boyfriend, and the only thing I was having a hard time is his birthday and birthday is listed nowhere. If anybody possibly even know a zodiac sign, make sure y'all chime in the comments for me. But we still gonna pull on his energy and around it, and boom. When I say I absolutely love this deck, and I'm gonna tell you why. I had already shuffled these, right? So let's talk about, look at the focal point card, and this is definitely what was happening. Y'all see that, guys? Opposition. But let me say this. Opposition is here to bring balance. What do, remember I said when we led, I can't make these messages up, especially not with spirit. It's interesting. I spoke on, if I remember when I said this last night, I was like, you know, it was so interesting for her birth. She's an Aries sun, and her birthday was, we're in Aries season now, right, guys? Aries is the first point of the zodiac, guys. Huge manifesting energy is here. It says it right here. And even when I was listening to Behave Life, she said she picked up very heavy manifestation energy on Ashley. And look, guys, so she was very beautiful too. So let's speak to that. You know, but the mirror magic might be one of the ways that she, you know, of her way or energy to where she manifested quickly, okay? But when I'm going back to the energy and the planetary alignment being the top, you know, I mean, the end of, you know, as we closed out last month with that relationship of Libra, that full moon, you know, coming in at the top in relationships. And wasn't it interesting, guys, that she was leaning on that Libra actual real animal? And the energy that I was getting when I was watching that is that I'm like, wow, she is leaning on it so confidently. But the energy of her leaning on it, I was getting imbalance. And I'm like, it's a shake up here. You know, so she definitely was, we look, before we even start, we understand that she was facing opposition. And that's very clear, you know. But I'm going to say something about her and this man is a mirror energy where they mirror each other, causing each other to confront, okay? Conflicts are here, test, you know, being called out. Think about it. We hearing all the things over the internet, you know, everybody has their stories at this point, or at least their theories and what they suspect happened, right? So in those relationships is what I was saying with that Libra energy and coming into fiery Aries, guys, and the Mars energy of Aries being bloodshed. And unfortunately, this is a situation that happened in that regard, right? It's just so sad. Ashley is the sun right here. She came in opposition, guys, and it's interesting that the sun comes out because she's a, you know, energetic to, not only energetic and beautiful Aries, but this represents her being and her solar return, and that this trip was already a problem before she even went to it, right? This was her solar return. And it's interesting that this sun is here because she is in the process of transitioning and going back to spirit, which is her sun energy from this opposition. It's a deeply karmic relationship and energy between her and this man. It could be something that, you know, came from other lifetimes, right? This one, I thought I was recording, but this one kind of, it was like one of those that kind of popped out. And it's interesting because this is what everybody talking about. The money, the OWO, the assets, right? The material world, the possessions, you know, how this, what bottom line is, this opposition came from this value, money, finances, you know, she was, all the luxuries, they were there. We, you know, the aesthetic that she was presenting out, the pictures that she posted, you know, all the finer things, the caviar, okay? But it's some energy around assets. And this man, you know, again, it allegedly, an aspect of him losing large sums of money due to him, you know, doing his crypto thing. So this is what caused this imbalance, right? Opposition. I love this deck, and we ain't even started with the regular cards. Look at the quincunx, the complexity. Things got over her head, you know. I was looking at some videos of her and her energy, and she'll pop off. She give me that spicy energy, you know, a fiery being, okay? And I didn't really feel offended by her comments. I don't really get too deep into it unless it's just, I mean, you know, people gonna be people. And one thing about it, my mama always say, it takes all type of people to make the world go round. So what you allow to offend you, you know, but it's more along, you know, long as it's not complete disrespect directly to you in a way that, you know, shakes up your foundation. But other than that, people gonna be who they are, right? So the complexity is here. We saw it, and you know, it's clearly, before we even pull the cards, it's a situation that it was too much. And what I was saying was, her being spicy and the energy and fiery, she felt like she could handle it. But she missed the mark. She missed it. Complexity transforms you, okay? It's a puzzle to this thing, because look at the pieces, and we all trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Ain't that deep? I'm gonna say something too. Did y'all realize that her name on social media, name online, was ASHLEE JENAE, but her real name is Ashley Robinson? And to me, I promise you, when I heard that, it immediately, you know, somebody said something. I was like, man, this is the same as Shanquella, right? Her last name Robinson. And it's so deep with the energy that's the same way that she lost her life, right? But what I was saying was that Aries is war, Aries is bloodshed, Aries is the, you know, the guns, the knives, all of the things, the pow-pows, okay? And let me say this. Another thing about this quincunx that just came up in my spirit before we even get to this is, you know, it's a puzzle. It's complex. Because it's a lot of answers. It's a lot of things that's missing. Like that timeline is off from when they, you know, one thing about me listening to the course of events of how they said it happened, it was so many red flags. So many. It got over complicated for her, y'all. In some kind of way, they clashed at some point, okay? But it got complicated, and so complicated to the point now where it's a mystery. And we hear like, okay, we're going to solve it, right? So pieces to the puzzle, messages will come at some point, right? Communication. Ain't that interesting? Mercury here. So this situation became imbalanced out the gate. This is something that's been brewing. It is. Because the communication, look, opposition, complexity with her sun sign, her being, her spirit. But it all leads to money. Oh, whoa. Okay, Mercury is your thoughts, your communication. It's how you communicate. It's how you learn. Okay? It's your curiosity. Let me just say that this got real blurry, okay? And it's, oh my God, y'all ain't even going. Y'all see that? And all of this led to Pluto. Transformation. And she's in a place now of ascension, to ascend back to the heavens, going back to the sun, going back to spirit, right? She didn't use her inner resources. I don't feel like, let's pull the cards. I feel nothing. Let's see. It's death and rebirth cycles. This was about personal power, which we see from both ends, right? We got our suspicions. Everybody got a lot of suspicions. But Pluto also represents the energy of obsession. The way that he was looking at her on that picture that they are is like all around online, and it's eerie. It's intensity, but the reckoning happened. A lot of taboos in the mix. Let's just keep it a buck, okay? But the opposition is here, the complexity is here. Things came to the extremes. Karmic energy that has to happen on some level, clearly, because balance, opposition happens for balance to be restored, right? And that Libra was there, the justice, balance. Ain't that interesting? And it's funny because this Chiron here, and that's the wounded healer. That's our, it's the point where it's our self-doubt. It's our, generational trauma is your Chiron healing. And like I said, this is deeply karmic and transformative because Pluto. So this is a situation that possibly could have played out, like I said, in other lifetimes. And this is the one where it played out in this one, right? Pisces, it's funny. It's something about that Pisces energy. I wonder, is that man a Pisces, but he still has some energy with his build. Because he looks tall and definitely, like, strong, Could have, like, some type of fire sign. But then maybe he could be a Capricorn. Who knows? We're going to find out, though, and see. Right? Wow. Something about him. He may even be a Sagittarius. Y'all see how that kind of came out? But then again, he could be a Pisces, the way that I was coming through. Ain't that funny how when something just said spread the cards out like a dick and look. So this man could very well be a Sagittarius sun. He could even be a Leo. But it's still the energy of Leo because remember he was a boss. He's supposed to be a very wealthy, hedge fund kind of guy, right? But came through when he met her love bomb. And it's interesting because Sagittarius is the voyage. They were in Tanzania. This is foreign lands, right? So, And it's interesting, even with the astrology cards, with the opposition and the other one, it was an energy where she could have felt this on some level, guys, but she still went on with it. And you know why? Don't even make me laugh. I can't make the messages up. Look, because of that opportunity. She felt like this would be an opportunity for me to create content. You know, whatever she had going on. She had her own. Leo is here, so Leo the boss. She might have, you know, like they said, they spoke of her being driven, very independent, you know, getting to the money. And so this brought opportunities, right? And this is the energy and how he came. Like, I'm the opportunity, you know, because it's giving agreement. I can't make it up. And Jupiter is here. It's about this money, this expansion. And look, she is a fire starter. Look at Miss Ashley, guys. There she goes. Self-starting, very daring, very fierce. So her fierce energy, she didn't realize. This was already over her head before she even made this journey or this voyage. You see that? I was saying that people were speaking on the comments she made about dating, you know, talking about black men rather and all that kind of stuff. But to me, I don't hold her accountable. She was a child. She was a baby. She was just 31. She don't know yet. And that man was what? Almost 15, maybe close to, if she 31, they saying, you know, speculating he's around 45 or early 50s. That's like 15 or 20 years her senior. He been, you know, getting over and running game and finessing and doing all this before he ever even met her. You know? And it's interesting because when she pulled up with Kevin Gates, wasn't that what she pulled up with? Look at that. Like an exotic car. And look, this is about the relationship. This is about the love. So we got questions. Venus is here and 7th house is your partnerships. And he was proposing to her. This was the marriage, so to speak. So, let's see what the traditional cards have to say. Because listen, that's interesting. When I say I love this deck, y'all, it's deep. Before we even get started. So, and also what that does is it, what's the word I'm looking for? It also solidifies the reading that we in the right energy. Because it came right out. And all the cards are clustered together like that. It's interesting. I want to see. So we're going with the current energy now, guys, of the events of what happened before, okay? This popped out, and I want to say that this could be that way, so I'm going to just kind of leave it to the side, okay? Let's get the energy around this. This sure been riveting. You hear me? I think it's going to take, boom. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's do that. And dang, look. Tower. It's right there. Let's get any extra messages as we start this reading. Extra messages. Oh, take that too. Show mechanic. Ooh, it's a lot of cards. It's like Spirit got a lot to say. So let's unpack and let's see what's up and stuff, okay? I'm gonna sit there right there, okay? Look, y'all, I can't make it up. Look at the focal point of the reading. Ten of Swords right here. And the way it's positioned is that we asked about the course of events before. And that's deep. And it aligns directly with this card that came out, the Hierophant. Because the thing is, he did propose to her. You know, it was the aesthetic of marrying the love of your life. You know, that's what the projection was, right? So let's unpack and let's get this party started. Yeah, that Pisces popped out. And look, guys, look at that King of Cups. So he could be a water sign. Could be a Pisces, but he still got some energy that is the fiery aspect, but I don't know, because to me, in Capricorns, don't shoot the messenger or hurt me, because I don't mean it in no negative way. But the narcissism kind of gives that, you know, that kind of energy, all right? That Cap energy. Because Capricorn is the boss, all right? And I mean, when you're looking at him, that's what he is projecting, or that's the vision, you know, that he wants us to see of him. The aesthetic. All right. Damn, these cards don't lie, baby. Let me just tell you. Ooh. I'm sorry. Let's get that. Yeah. So let me say this. Before these events pop off, this is the energy before it led to the, you know, the unfortunate ending, right? This is an argument. And it's funny because they said, baby, these folks was fighting from the time that they landed. Well, here it go. Right here. It's a lot of miscommunication. Her intuition was blocked too. Because this is the Ace of Swords, right? But he was very hostile. Hostile energy, right? Misinformation. Something, when I say they were, the fight is here. Out the gate. Dang, the Justice card right there, y'all. This is a life lesson that she paid for dearly. We're going to get some truth. We're going to hear some more things. More things are going to come out. That's a fact. Because remember, the astrology card, even though it was a complexity, it's about bringing balance. This is also her energy. Because she feel away, even though she transitioning behind what transpired, the course of events. You know, even with this Swords energy, I'm talking about the way he talked to her, baby. He could have just killed her with his word. I mean, unalived her with her words. Excuse me, YouTube. Okay? It's like I'm getting chills. It's crazy. He's been dealing with a lot of stuff. They say he lost income, right? So I also like, even with the justice card, it's like he up and down, up and down, up and down, right? Damn, I didn't mean to drop the cards. Hold on, y'all. He up and down, up and down. Hot and cold, right? Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's in the same position. Yeah, they know it this way. Okay. Damn. And this was an argument too about integrity, truth, about lies, about what was said. Like, something came out with the Ace of Swords, some form of communication, right? I don't know if it was, like you said, it could have been something that they saw on the phone or something he saw on the computer. I don't know. But this is the energy. This is also the energy with this Six of Coins in reverse of, remember, Six of Coins is equal give and take, reciprocity, right? So, family. So this is the energy of everything that glitters is not gold, and it's a situation where everything that was presented for us to see it being a certain way, it wasn't what it seemed. Not at all, on no level. This is one-sided energy, okay? This is conditional giving. So this is like, this mother effer was like breadcrumbing, like it was an agreement. This was a contract. This was, you'll get this if I get that type energy. You know, you do this, okay, or we're gonna agree. Because like I said, those pictures, they were too, I mean, just think about it, y'all. When you posting with your people, do you have what do you call it? The photographer on site to come edit that thing? You know, and really look like you, it's crazy. That's a wild situation. But this is about greed. And this is an energy where he could have felt this way about her. Remember, we pulling it from his aspect, right? So if this is Joe, he found out something, some form of communication. It's a breakdown there, right? Her judgment was clouded. And he came to her like, you need to say the truth. You know, what's this? Blah, blah, blah. And this is where all of this, you know, was started from, right? The energy that pushed them into the next course of events, okay? This was the proposal, but also, like I said, it is not what it seemed. This is, look at what it says. It lets you know, strings attached. So this is a situation where it wasn't what we thought. And look, here he go. So clearly he has to be some type of water sign. Okay, guys? I'm going to say Pisces because it came right out, right? But it's an imbalance with him. You know, this, to me, why he comes up in the upright is because at this moment, this was the situation beforehand. But it's letting me know, because King of Cups is about emotional mastery. We know that this was at the moment how he was coming. You know, the King of Hearts. Let me marry you. Let's get, you know, all of that is what he came with, right? All this to come to this. And it's funny because we got 2 tens on the table. And this is the 10 of Cups, but the way it's positioned, this is the relationship being broken. Y'all see that? The discord, the imbalance, false sense of security. And ain't it interesting that it came right up with and it's an inauthentic relationship. I said it. I said that this right here is giving. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real and don't shoot the messenger. I said it on the beginning. It's like it's like a contract, like pencil up, holes down type vibe, you know. And look, the moon here. So it's a lot of secrets that's hidden. And I can't say it enough. Her intuition was blocked. She wasn't in a space of, you know, it looked like she manifested things, but I'm not seeing spiritual protection come out yet on the cards. So I feel like, you know, with her energy, she knew, because remember, the moon is subconscious. So she knew not to, she thought about this, not going on this trip, y'all. It's right here in the messages. She had a lot of uncertainty. But I'm going to say something. Deception is here. You know, the illusion of things. Remember that with the moon. So this is a situation where it's gonna be, it's gonna be some more things discovered. But I'm gonna tell you something. He didn't expect for this. This man did not expect for none of this to come out. When you, I'm sorry, I paused. This is like a lot coming in. It's a lot. That Ace of Swords. Something about him, y'all. Like I said, I'm going through the messages. This ain't his first time. He's not. It's like con artists. It's like what you see, again, it's illusion. So what it is that he has is not what it seems. Swords speak, you know, air energy. A lot of finessing. Like I said, even when he online talking about the crypto, it's like a vehicle to sell and generate income. This was an agreement with them. So maybe her beauty, you know, all those things. Because I kept saying, why is he in every picture? That did not make sense. I don't want to see him. She pretty. I'd rather see her. And especially not with that evil energy. And it's not saying, you get what I'm trying to say, y'all. The reason why I can't go back to that solar eclipse energy. So the thing is, eclipses are about, you know, beginnings and endings and transformation. And this is what happened. That's what made me pause. This card just threw me. Transformation, y'all. All because of this. And eclipses like that. So in an instant, she lost her life. But I'm going to tell you something. This going to be going on for a minute. And in the next 6 months, it's going to be, there's some things coming out. Even though she transformed, it's transformation here in general. And I'm reading the message where it says catalyst for change. So maybe it's an energy where, how we brought up Shanquella, and rest in peace to her. Little sweet baby that went from Cabo. But something about what happened to Ashley is going to bring a catalyst to change. As well as solar. I'm going back to the astrology cards with that sun coming in. Something about her energy, her personal self, her sun, her spirit is going to bring a catalyst for change or push the catalyst for change, right? You got 2 timing cards here. I wonder when she met him. I got to go back down to that timeline because the winter solstice energy is here, right? This card. And this is about, when I say I learned something so powerful when it came to the way that I just learned how this is like a switch. You know, let me say this, y'all. When you are who you are, right? As a being, as a person, your sun energy, and I'm saying this because she got a lot of being, meaning, and remember she's an Aries, so she's coming up as herself. She's showing up in her you know, her beauty and her spirit, right? But when you come in the world and you are in that first, like, okay, let me say this. Aries is the beginning point, the first half, okay? So as you come through that first half of the wheel, you know, you it's 2 halves that make a whole to bring a 360. So you coming in from heaven to earth, Aries, and we stop at the halfway mark, which is Virgo, right? So when we come to the halfway point of Virgo, that's where we've learned the lessons that now wisdom starts to come from within, right? I'm saying this to say with Ashley, she hadn't had the opportunity, clearly because she, you know, crossed over, right? But in the physical, the wheel starts from the beginning. But in spiritual, it starts from Aries going backwards. So spiritually, with the solstice is when the switch happens. So the energy was here, and she is meant to come as she, because like I said, she's transitioning, she's crossing over. So now the energy is going backwards in a sense, right? Because she's doing like the life review, the things that, you know, they speak on. But her being is going to be a catalyst for change. I'm here to tell you, because in the spiritual world, she just learned some powerful lessons. Sorry, I just have to say what I'm seeing, right? Look, the fight was here, and she was defeated. It was hostile. And look, with the 5 of Swords, soul family, you know, she didn't see this coming. He wasn't playing by the rules from the gate. And let me say this. Ain't it funny how that astrology card had those puzzle pieces on it? And look, plot twist. She didn't see this shit happening. And look, here go the loss. And I'm going to say something. These cards in regards to Joe, they said he lost a lot of money. This is also an energy of that with that 5 and 5. You know, remember, it's a catalyst for change. Massive change with all the 2, 5. You know, 5 is change in numerology. So the 5, the fight, the 5, the grief, the sadness, the loss, the mourning that's happening right now, right? And it's crazy how the cards tell the truth of the story. So the plot twist happened. And now we hear at the loss. When we ask what was the course of events leading up, but we see it. So if we asking about before, you know, they were, like I said, the fights are here. Something about him his energy is real aggressive. That's why I had to kind of pause. I'm like, ooh. And it's interesting because you got the King of Cups on the table. So again, it's a plot twist because he comes up in an energy of being emotionally balanced and being this most knowledgeable and, you know, all that. But even when you listen to him talk, he was saying a whole lot of something and a whole lot of nothing. And when if you do it like this in that energy, that's finessing, right? Seven of Cups. It's a lot of messages from that. Energy from her. You know, it's all about the many possibilities and decisions. And this is about things being unclear. It's illusions here. We got several cards of illusion and confusion. Okay? What's not glitter? Everything that glitters ain't gold. Look, shiny object syndrome. Y'all see that? And maybe this guy had some form of situation with. And like I said, everything is alleged again. I'm going to keep saying it in my opinion. But something about the energy of maybe substances or something. Because the moon is here. And with this energy here, it's like he let his mind go on a wild imagination, right? You know, this all was to look like a wish fulfillment. This was the engagement. Oh my God, she's over there in this beautiful foreign land, these beautiful animals. It was gorgeous. But in all, it was a bunch of bullshit. Y'all see that? Materialistic energy, selfish energy, addictions. I can't make it up. I said that, right? Overindulge, excessive, something about him. And it's like he didn't have love. People kept saying, you can't love somebody who you didn't even reach out to her parents. Well, it's here. It's like he got a hollow heart, you know? And this energy overtook her. Y'all see that? This Nine of Cups overtook her spirit. We got a lot of sun reference energy. Solar eclipse. Remember, eclipses is about energy, but it's also about truth. So unfortunately, in this, she crossed over, you know, to the heavenly realm, or is transitioning there. But in the meantime, she gonna haunt this man. That's a fact, Jack. She gonna be popping up in his dreams and shit. Like, it's gonna, if he already got an addiction, this is gonna really do something, okay? Allegedly. Yeah. Big changes are coming. She did not listen to her intuition, y'all. Stand for the wrong reasons. This relationship was in limbo. And look, I'm going to leave it right here and we're going to move on to his faking happiness. All of that was a facade. And look, it brought all of this because that's why this popped out, because that's what he was leading with. We going to get engaged. We going to get married. He proposed to her on her birthday. To me, that is just crazy. That's crazy. Why would you want to take the attention away from her birthday and celebrating her her energy, her solar return, her time around the sun. You didn't even let her enjoy that. This hadn't happened yet. So that's why it's in reverse. Because this basically letting us know this is what's coming. Remember I said this be like the focal point. And by her ending with that, you know, 8 of Cups in reverse, this lets you know right here that this will be her demise. Damn. Whew. All right, let's, oh, and these two, because these was at the top and the bottom as we ended. How can I forget? Look, the fight happened, 7 of Wands. It was a struggle, you know. She was standing her ground until she wasn't, okay? But because these are his cards, he dominated. You see that with the strength? He dominated her. This is her in reverse. Damn. Let's ask what's the energy. See what happened. We know we see, but let's ask. Did he? Did he murder? Ooh, I'm sorry. Is that a word we can use? Unalive. I'm sorry. Unalive. So now that they got to the second villa resort. Resort to finally get this. Thank you, Spirit. Is he responsible? Ooh. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna sit it here, okay? If those kind of wanted to move, I'm gonna just kind of move them. Oh, this clearly wanted to come out. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna just leave it that way. Thank you. Wow. Ooh. Let's talk about it. And even the cards, the way they are. Ooh, let's unpack. Here we go. Now that we looking at what happened. First card out the gate. Wow. Wow. That's why it popped out. He gonna do whatever he gotta do. They say he already been a frequent visitor of Tanzania. And it's in the messages. He knew that he was gonna do this before he got over there, y'all. And let me say this, the magician is the trickster. in the deck. Okay? It's the trickster. But also very powerful, calling on the heavens, north, south, east, or west. So it's almost like this was a game. Y'all see that? This is a game for this man. The tower. That's why I fell out. Because this was a tower moment. That's a fact. And look, the reason why it's in reverse is because he was delaying the inevitable. He wasn't being forthright and honest with that girl's family. Let me say something. Before, when these come out, but the first card shows he dominated her. So allegedly, this is all, in my opinion, this is what they say. This is for entertainment purposes only. But remember, we ended with this. So I'm going to hold it up. Because she was here first. And now the card leads here. Strength in reverse. Yeah. Yep. Something with them. Dishonesty could be in between both of them. But this is what drove this. And it's some things about him that she really just started to unveil and realize. I don't know. I've listened to readings, but I'm going to just show y'all this picture, right? And this is gestation, so I don't know if she was pregnant, but that girl in this picture definitely is. And this energy in this card represents gestation. But this is also an energy of him dominating her about his finances, his wealth that he built. So something about the money. Remember, this came up assets out the gate. In the astrology cards, it led with that. And here it is, right? And he dominated her out the gate. It's a lot of holes in the story. Because, the Eight of Wands is momentum being slowed down. He could have even given her something, allegedly. But whatever this was, she wasn't as focused as she needed to be. She's kind of, when you look at her energy, it's like she right there, right? He dominated her. It's interesting because these two cards are right here on each other. So took her down out the gate, dominated her out the gate. She ain't think it through. It's like when she realized what was happening, it was too late. It was too late. That the goal was to let you think that they look like it was a storybook ending, right? Because that's the energy of the trip. Ain't that right? We're getting engaged. We're starting the next chapter of her life, and with him and her, him supposed to be supposing her. But this is saying he is full of shit and he play games. Magician. He the trickster. Okay? Finesse. Then I've been saying finesse from the time we started this, right? Boom. Can't make it up. Messages, negative messages. And there's a lot of negative messages about Ashley, going around. But let me say this. Who are we to judge anybody? I just never understood that. It ain't never been my style. That's not how I roll. Whatever my friends do, if you like it, I love it. I know who I am, so I'm going to do what works for me. And I always encourage my people to do what works for them. Okay? So when you speak on how people have a lifestyle, you can't judge. You don't live in no glass house. If, again, remember we started with that card and it was like mirrors. If I was to turn this mirror around to you, what's up? While you projecting, your judgment on me, right? So I don't do that. That ain't my thing. You don't know what people been, what they been through, where they come from. Poverty is real and this economy is not easy. Y'all president really did eliminate the middle class. It don't exist no more. It's the have and the have-nots. And so we're starting to see more themes and extreme themes of relationships and karmic energy and endings playing out, right? And unfortunately, this was one of them. This is the time that they using to, because remember, allegedly it said that Joe has not only been there and frequented this particular place, but he has a lot of influence there as well. And money talks and bullshit walks because they don't have it over there in Tanzania, okay? So this energy is about the time frame that they're using to cover up, hide, you get what I'm saying? And minimize this situation so it can, in their mind, feel like it can go away. Now, I wanted to say it was crazy because these cards, you got the Nine of Swords, which, like I said, she has a lot of regret. He got a lot of regret. But remember, I said this is a deeply karmic relationship that just played out in front of us in this lifetime. It's a past life trauma to heal guilt. Lots of unresolved issues between these two. The feelings were intense. He allegedly, with this emotional anguish, my God, like, he verbally abused her in a lot of ways. And look, I said he gave that, this is that emperor, that father, Aries energy. I know people was Googling to see if he had children. They say he had the wife and the kids. And even though he doesn't have Ashley listed on none of his pages, they were saying that he has the wife, and allegedly they're saying ex-wife, but she's posted. I thought that was interesting. But something about him, he is very controlling. This is excessive control. This is narcissism. But he dominated her. Look at these two cards. He lost control. And something about him being a father. He got father issues. It's right here. It's like, I don't know if their wife gonna speak, but it's absent father issues, okay? This is that social media, that Page of Wands. He may even try to say something because these cards are about what happened. But it's letting you know that things got out of control. That's why these cards popped out to the side. Ain't that crazy? And boom, the tower happened. And the fact of the matter is, he's trying to cover it up. So let's, wow. Well, all this isn't alleged, but this is interesting, right? So let's see what's ahead for him. They fall. And I based on these cards, guys, I'm sorry. And just even in my spirit and my intuition, you know, and I heard Lala speak when she said, you know, she did not have any reverence for the government, and that's where she's from, that's where she lives right now physically. The lady, I'm gonna pull the clip from you when she was talking for Queen Sheba, but she said, I just don't feel like in my spirit she gonna get the justice or any that she deserves. This is a corrupted place, and they don't have the means or not even the technology. And I said, oh my God, oh my God. But I had it's too many reservations. The timestamp is odd. To me, it's bull BS. And let me say why. And a lot of times I know y'all be like, okay. But I have to, when I'm reading the messages they coming through, and then my mind and the messages are coming through in regards to, you know, what we reading. And it is the energy around the fact that you proposed to her at the... Okay, guys, so that was the end of part 1, and I went ahead and uploaded part 2 because I think that's when I start to get into like our little T cards and messy cards and maybe a few more messages if I'm not mistaken. But I definitely make sure y'all check the clips out in the front because remember I said I was going to add one of the new victims, okay? And I did find some updates to like a TikTok react, so I made sure I added that in too for you guys, all right? All right. See y'all soon. Love y'all. Peace and love. Thanks for watching The Common Corner Show. Peace and love, soul family. And I'll see you guys in the next one.